Hi guys! So this video is to show all of my friends all the different activities that you're going to be seeing in Nearpod because we're pretty much going to be doing Nearpod till the time we're done with this NTI, with this at-home learning. So they're just more interactive than the Google Forms are. It gives you guys a chance to draw and do other things, whereas the Google Forms that you've been doing in your classwork, you just put in the bubbles and push submit. So that just makes it a little more fun. So in order for you to be successful at this, Miss Acton is going to show you how you get through a Nearpod, how you turn in a Nearpod. That way you can get credit. I know that Miss Ramos does Lunch Bunch. Miss Just does classroom activities at the end of the week for everybody does their classwork, and Miss Acton also does things for her classroom for kiddos that do all of their work. So we want you to get credit for all that. We want you to have fun, and we want you to know what you're doing. That way you're not having to text or call all of your teachers and ask them what to do, okay? So these Nearpods are going to be in your classwork. That's where you're going to go first. And today I'm going to do one in math. Now, not all of the stuff in this is going to be math. This is all just for fun. So when you open this up, it says Nearpod, and then it has the title of it, just like it would your Google form. So you're still going to click on that. That's going to take you to a different website, just like it would take you to the form. Now it's actually taking you to the Nearpod website. When you get here, it asks you to log in with Google, or ask you to log in two different ways. You're going to log in with Google, and I'm pretending to be a girl named Valerie Gordon that's in my classroom who does paper packets. And you say yes if this is you, say yes, this is me, and you continue. So you log in with Google, say yes, this is me. Now you're doing the presentation all on your own. This is where Miss Acton's going to show you can find certain things that will help you. There's certain things on there that you have to do, and just basically how to do all the activities. So this is our lesson on Nearpod. So the first activity that you're going to see is an actual slide that just gives you information. And the cool thing about these is most of them, Miss Acton will be putting a voice recording because some of us can't read all these big words on here. So if you go down to the bottom, you push this play button and you listen. Learning objectives. In this lesson, I will 1. Learn about Nearpod, try activities in the Nearpod, and do my best. So on this recording, I was able to record this for you in case you cannot read it. And that's so you don't have to call an adult to come over, Mom, Dad, I can't read this. I've already read it for you. So learning objectives, what we're going to be doing is you're going to learn about Nearpod, you're going to try some activities, and you're going to do your best. First activity is the memory test, and I normally save this one for last. It's kind of like the goodbye. It is a lot of fun, but it's the first one we're going to do on this. So the first thing you're going to see is a bunch of cards that are flipped over, and you have to flip them over and find the matches for them. The reason why it's called a memory test is because you have to memorize where the cards are. These just have letters in the alphabet. So you can flip over 2 at a time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And you're just memorizing with your memory what cards that you flipped over so that you can match them up. And then when you're done, it tells you how many moves that you did. And then it shows you the empty cards whenever you're done. So that's the memory test. The next one is draw it. This one's probably one that Miss Acton does the most, and I like the most because it gives you guys a chance to sit there and create something for me, which is one of my favorite things to do. So basically all it is just a image and you're going to draw. So the first one says trace the letter D. And there's all kinds of different tools down here at the bottom. The tool we use the most is just the pen tool, and you can grab whatever color that you want. So pay attention to the background. So I don't think it would be a good idea to choose a green color because there's a lot of green. I definitely wouldn't choose white because it won't show up. So I would definitely choose a darker color. I'm going to choose blue. And then you can make it as big as you want. As you can see, that'll probably fit pretty good. But you're going to see on the next slide that there are some spots that you might want a smaller pen. There's also an eraser tool. You can make it bigger, smaller too. I want to erase this part because I did not make that bigger. I did not trace my D very well right there. So you can use the eraser tool to erase anything that you don't want. And then for all those things to pop up, kind of disappears once you start drawing. But once you hover down towards the bottom, it'll let it come back up, okay? You can also insert images. I rarely ever do this, but sometimes maybe you want to put an image, something. All you have to do is go into Google and say I want to put an image of a duck, because D starts with duck. I got a picture of a duck. Put that on there. I can make it as big or as small as I want. Put it on there too. There's also a text, so you can type in your text right there. E is for duck. You can change that to whatever color that you want. You can also move it around. Get it out of the way if you want. And for some reason, it won't let you get it back on there. Kind of just stays stuck, so I'd be careful with the text. There's also a highlighter in case Miss Acton says I need you to highlight something on there. It's just kind of light and it doesn't cover up stuff. Do you see how it doesn't cover up part of the D? And that's kind of useful whenever we're going through sentences and Miss Acton says, hey, I'm the capital letter in this sentence. You can highlight it without scribbling over top of it. There's also an undo button, so you can undo everything that you just did. So I undid all my scribbles, undid my D is for duck, undid my picture of a duck, undid my tracing, my erasing, and I'm back to where I was before. So those are all the different tools that you can use. Let's go to the next one. I'm just showing you some different examples. Oh, and then also, let's say you don't have anything on your page. It says this page looks blank. Please submit a drawing before going to the next slide. The good thing about the drawing and about this Nearpod is you can't skip over anything. You have to do everything. So, got it. I didn't trace my D, so I need to go back, grab my pen tool. I need to trace the D, and then once I do both of these, lowercase and uppercase D, I should be able to move to the next slide. All right, so the next one, this is also an example of one that you could do for highlighting, but there's also instructions. And for this one, the words are pretty close together right here, so I would definitely want to make sure that my line is pretty small. I'm going to stick with the color black because that stands out. It says trace the letter below. I can't read the top of that. It's bothering me, so I click that up arrow to disappear. So it says underline the repeated lines. All right, so the repeated lines that are in this poem, I am sick, I am sick. That keeps getting repeated over and over and over. So I'm underlining all those repeated lines. And then it says circle the funny part. So I know the funny part, why are you green? Blah. Now that was mean. That's funny because it surprised me because this little girl right here ended up throwing up. I don't want that circle there anymore, so I'm going to undo it. Remember, if there's any parts that you mess up, you have this eraser where you can erase some of the parts. You also have the image that you can add, which we didn't have to do in this. You can add a text. You can also highlight. I can show you the highlight, how it shows, but it doesn't cover up the words, which is a good thing to have. So all those different tools are what you want to use. I also want to show you that I can also put directions on the drawing in case I'm worried that you don't know how to read the directions and I want your help. So if I click this play button, write the word eat on the lines below. So I read the instructions to you. So you don't have to say, Mom, I have no idea what Miss Acton wants me to do. Can you please help me? I've got a lot of room, so I'm going to make it nice and big. She wants to write the word eat on the lines below, and she said it in her directions. So I'm going to write the word eat, E-A-T. If I didn't write anything and try to push the arrow, it would say, If I try to do this, try to click it, it says, wait, this page looks blank. Please submit a drawing before going to the next page. Got it. Also like doing word equations for math and these types of things. Now on this page, as you can tell, this is not an addition equation that a lot of us are doing right now. This is more kindergarten, first grade stuff, but this is a good example. So on your page, I can say, hey, I need you to show me your work to solve the equation 2 plus 4. So you can do 2, show me your work. Okay, I thought of the number 2, then I thought of the number 4. I counted them all up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I got the number 6. 6 is my answer. It also tells you to push the submit button at the bottom. I don't know what happens if you don't push the submit button. I've never told anybody to do it, and I can always see your drawings, but if it makes you feel better, you can push that submit button to say that you're done with your drawing. Next is a virtual field trip. I really like this one too. It helps you go to different places and be able to see a view all the way around you. So the first one that I have is on a beach of a lake. I'm not really sure where it's at, but as you can see, there's people on the beach. We're on the water, and basically you can drag this anywhere. You can look up to the top of the sky, look at the sun shining down. You can go all the way down to where you're looking into the water, see some fishies, and you can go all the way around back to the, and this is the best part. This is the reason why I picked this one, because look who's behind us. That's some puppy dogs. And you can see some more people on the beach. And you can go back around again if you want. You can go back the other way. We can look up at the tops of the trees if we want. The sky above the puppy dogs. So it's just a cool way to see like a view all the way around you of something that's really cool. Miss Acton can look up certain mountains, places that we want to go visit, but we can't, hop on an airplane and go visit. So this is a mountain in China. You can see all the pretty trees, and look at that view, guys, like we're on top of the world. Look at all those mountain ranges. Pretty cool stuff. And you can also look up. Nice pretty sky. And also go back down. Look at the dirt below us. Pretty cool tracks like a chain so you don't fall over the side. So a pretty cool place. So that's a virtual reality field trip. Next is video. So Miss Acton can throw YouTube videos in here for you to watch. She can also throw videos that she's made into them. So and basically what will happen is there'll just be a play button in the middle of it, and you just push the play button and it'll play the video for you. This is just a video I found about Nearpod.
Introducing Nearpod. With Nearpod, you can make every lesson interactive. Launch lessons your students can't wait to join with collaborative, engaging activities like virtual reality,
virtual field trip that we just saw. So that's just showing you that there's videos that you can throw in here too. And the cool thing about this is that it doesn't let you skip over the video, so you have to sit there and watch the entire video.
Simulations and gamified quizzes.
Turn the noise off. So I'm hoping that you're seeing all the different things that you're able to do. It's not just the Google form where you watch the video, answer 5 questions, push submit. It's all that's pretty boring, ho-hum, and you guys are getting over it, and us teachers can tell. So that's why we wanted to use Nearpod, because it gives you guys a way to be able to do different things like drawing, a matching game, and after this video plays, you're going to see there's going to be tons more activities that we're going to do. And then at the end of this, one of the activities that you get to do, you're actually going to get to tell me which one that you like the best, and whichever one that you vote on is going to be the one that Miss Acton's going to pick the most. Make sure that I have plenty of those on there. So these are all the different websites that people are saying like Nearpod is fantastic, and which it is. It does a really good job. And she's showing how she's showing all these different things to her kiddos. And the cool thing about this is this: if we ever go back into the classroom, and with coronavirus and COVID still going on, maybe not being able to be right there next to each other, we can still do these activities to where Miss Acton will show it up on the smart board real big for you to see, and then you'll have it on your computer or tablet right there in front of you to do too. That's all really cool. And I hope that you guys enjoyed. It's just giving you guys something different than just the forms, not just boring or anything like that. Okay. So our video is almost done. Once it's done with the video, then we're going to be able to go to the next slide and see the other activities that we have. Almost done. Alright, so the next activity that we have is fill in the blank. And one thing that I do want to show you before we move on is that you've maybe seen a few of these slots up here that have had a speaker. And if you click on those, these aren't recorded things that Miss Acton has done. It's recordings that a computer is doing for you, but it'll still do the same thing. So Miss Acton maybe forgot to read the slide to you where it says fill in the blank. If you click on that, it will read it for you.
Fill in the blank.
So fill in the blank is the activity that we're about to do. All right, so sometimes we do fill in the blanks. You look at the empty spots and pick the words that will fit there. So there's these words down at the bottom, that's your word bank, and you're going to take these words and drag them up to the top. The thing about this is if you don't put it in the right spot, like I think my dog likes to play movie. Pizza is my favorite food. I want Tim to watch The Fetch. You click done. It says, oh, you got 1 out of the 3 correct answers. So that means you only got 1 right, so you can try again. So let's see. Favorite food is definitely the pizza one, so we don't want to switch those. So I think that it's these 2 that we need to switch. So then Fetch in the movie. All right, next one is Time to Climb. This one will probably be the most fun that you guys will like because it's like a competition. And again, here's an audio recording down here that you can click where Miss Acton is actually reading the stuff to you. The next activity is Time to Climb, and it's actually a game. You're going to pick your character, and then you're going to compete against everyone else in your class to see who can get to the highest point in the mountain. The faster you answer the questions, the more points you get. And the questions that you get right also give you more points too. All right, so let's get started. All right, so first thing you're going to do is choose your character. You can slide over and choose from a few more. Kind of like this one. Got the octopus, and then you push start. And the first thing that you'll see are some questions. What animal lives in water? Dog or fish? Fish. So I'm climbing up the mountain. And if you do this with other people in the classroom, you'll actually see their characters climbing too. And since Valerie's the only one doing this right now, she's the only one that you see. What animal plays fetch? A dog or a hippo? Dog. So the quicker that you answer it, the more points that you get, and the higher up you go in the mountain. So you want to make sure you're paying attention when this is on. Now let's try to answer one wrong and see what happens. What animal is big? An ant or a hippo? I'm going to say an ant is big. But no, that's wrong. So I only went up a teeny tiny bit. This let me go up. That was pretty cool. Last one. What animal is an insect? An ant or a cheetah? Watch how much further I go up the mountain compared to whenever I didn't answer. You just go a lot further whenever you give a right answer. So you want to give it right, give it fast. This is our last one. What animal is fast? A cheetah or a snake? Cheetah. This game is one of the reasons why you want to show up to our live Google Meets because you'll be playing this with like 10 other people. And you'll get to see if you won or not. Oh, so then Valerie played this maybe after like Cameron played it, and then after Dragon played it, and one of them would get first, second, and third place, so you would see other people on here too. So you would see if you beat them or not, which is pretty cool. Time to Climb, that's probably everybody's favorites. Next is open-ended question. So it's just a question that can have any answer to it. It's not a yes or no question. There's not bubbles to fill in where you only have 3 choices to choose from. It's kind of like the short answer questions on your Google Forms. And then I've got your play button up here where you can hear Miss Acton read the question to you. What is a way you relax at home? Type your answer. So what is a way you relax at home? So you think about that. There's not one way to relax at home. There's millions of ways to relax at home. That's why it's an open-ended question. There's no ending to it. It can go on and on and on. So I relax at home by watching my favorite TV shows. And then you push the submit button, and it will take you to the next question. So open-ended questions are easy. Next one is matching pairs. This is also another one that the kiddos like too. I like to put one of these in our lessons because it just makes it more fun. So sometimes you might match words to the pictures, like duck and the picture duck. Sometimes you might match things that are similar, like the groups of apples and the one apple. Sometimes you might mix things like objects and what they do. So a phone, and you text on your phone. And then there's some more words that match the pictures. A lot of times when we're working on definitions of things, I often put the word and then the picture that matches it. So Said I got it in 5 tries, so I got it in, excuse me. Next one is the quiz. Quiz is kind of like open-ended questions, except you do have choices that you bubble in. So this one probably looks the most like the Google form. And then we have 3 questions. These are super silly questions. Are you good at Nearpod? Yes or no? So I think I'm good at Nearpod. I've been doing it quite a bit here lately, and I like it, so I think I'm good. Are you going to try hard on your Nearpod? Yes or no? You better click yes. I like this one. Does Miss Acton love you? Yes or no? And all of you better click yes, because she does. I love all kiddos. So question is just giving you a question, and then it gives you some choices. Those are pretty simple, but I just wanted to show you how you would bubble in the correct answer. And then at the end of it, it shows you your score. So we got a 3 out of 3. And when it's all green, that means you've answered all of them right. And if some of it's red, that means that's a question that you didn't answer. And then sometimes you don't answer any. I'll show you your questions, which one you answer right. And sometimes you don't answer any, and that part would be great. But you want to make sure you put in an answer for each one. All right, next one is our collaborate board. So this is where you're just putting your ideas about something. So Miss Acton's question that she has in here for you in the Nearpod lesson is, what do you like about Nearpod? And then down here where it says share your thoughts or images here, I like Nearpod because of the games. Then you would post it, and then everyone that you post, everyone in the classroom can see it, and they can actually heart it if they like it. I like Time to Climb, the game that we played where you got to pick your character. Most kiddos love that one. If you like that one, you can heart it. And then once you're done, you can still see yours and everybody else's. You'll be able to see how many hearts that yours got. So maybe yours was loved by the most people. So that's the collaborate board. You just put your ideas on there for everybody to see. Next is the poll. This is the last one. So this is where you just vote to tell me which one that you like the best. Then I also recorded my voice, so remember those will be on most slides to help you read through stuff. What is your favorite Nearpod activity? Draw it, collaborate board, matching pairs, video, memory test, virtual reality field trip, quiz, open-ended questions, time to climb, or fill in the blank. So you just bubble in whichever one that you think is your favorite. And I'm going to say that Valerie likes the memory test because she likes to see how smart her brain is. I'm going to push that submit button. And you're all done. You can tap to start over if you can, but after you do that, then you're fine. So we finished the Nearpod, but then this is the last step that most kiddos forget. After you're done with the Nearpod, you can exit out of it, and then you're going to go back to your classwork. And you're going to do the view assignment. And you're going to do mark as done, because if you do not do that, it doesn't show up in Miss Acton's grade book that you've done it. And if you haven't done it in her grade book, then that means I can't give you your reward on Friday, and neither can your other teacher. So make sure that you push that submit button. And then also, if you push the submit button, the mark is done button, and it shows up as a grade, but then I look on Nearpod and I don't see any activity on Nearpod, then I'm going to know that you lied, and I'm not going to count it as either. So don't cheat. Do the Nearpod and then come back and push the mark as done, and then you're done. So if Miss Valerie went back to her classwork, her math is now gray, which means that she's done it. So now she just has to do her reading and writing Nearpod. So it doesn't take too long, and hopefully you guys like them. It's just way more fun than the Nearpod is, or than the Google Forms are. So hopefully this video helped you, and have fun doing stuff on Nearpod. Bye guys.